Hello, everyone. Welcome to bloxfruit. I am going to be ranking a barrier. If you guys don't know how I rank this, I rank them up by damage, grind, PvP, combos, and movement and abilities. These are all important for the fruit, and we are going to talk about it. My friend here is going to be here watching me so I don't get engaged by other players. He's waving right here. We're going to be talking about barrier. Barrier is an interesting fruit in this game because it just really honestly depends on your playstyle. Barrier, just to show you guys the stats I have, we are not using barrier to its full potential. If anything, you wouldn't put anything into bloxfruit. In fact, you would use sword instead of barrier, sword or style melee, just to show you guys how the damage work on barrier. It honestly depends. So we use barrier wall. So we use our simple test enemy here. Barrier. What barrier wall does is it pushes forward, does damage. 3,002 damage. And leaves a barrier that the enemy can't actually cross. This is very useful to a lot of sword users because then you can basically stun lock them. For surprise attack, it's literally just you going up in the air and dropping down. It just teleports you in the air right above your enemy, and that's it. Nothing more. Simple. You can miss if you're too close. Nothing back. Barrier prison is you throw a barrier out, you catch the enemy, and then you slam them on the ground. You can actually, weirdly enough, so I'll show you guys a thing about barrier wall. For stairs, you can actually create as much stairs as you want, as long as you have the energy. This consumes energy as you go up. Okay? Nothing more. It does disappear after so long, but you can instantly hold this up. But it's one really cool thing because you can zone lock players out of areas that require stairwell. Not a thing here is barrier wall. This is actually pretty cool. I tested around with this. If you're in the air and you do barrier wall, you can actually create a barrier platform for you to stand on instead of actually consuming energy. So you could basically have like a buddy use spider, for example, and snipe people across the map with this. Now the last move is called barrier tower. What barrier tower is one of the most interesting move sets in bloxfruit. I'm actually gonna have him follow me. Geo, if you see this, follow me for a sec. We're gonna go to mansion real quick. This is actually kind of get out of jail free card, basically. When you have a barrier tower, you can create a barrier and prevent from players from actually getting in. You can then place, let's say you want to place a stair. You can actually, really surprisingly, lock people out from following you. So let's say I want to do it right here. Okay. You can actually catch players off guard. Let's say I want to go right here. for example. I can put a barrier and run through the portal, and there's no potential way for them to get to me. Just like that. It's not used for fighting, it's more used for running away. And on top of that, you can actually lock players down. If you, like, say you hit a player, you can actually, like, lock players out of combat because they sometimes get stuck under the map. Even if you're allied with some of them. Let's say, for example, I'm gonna use it on one of these guys. Let's do it on this dude. I can then lock them down and run. It is not used for anything else. It's not used for anything else. For damage wise, I would have to give it a 3. It's a solid damage of 3,000, and it's not used for PvP, and it's not really used for grinding. It's more used to troll players, and if you can find ways to intimate barrier to your advantage, like if you had Dragon Trident, you can use Dragon Trident. In fact, you could actually end up using Dragon Heart with barrier. In fact, this is actually what is the craziest part. You can do this, and then just do this while they're stuck under there. And then just do that. It's free damage. It's more used for that, and then you can end up using El Diablo and just basically just keep them stuck under barrier tower. And it's really interesting because barrier tower doesn't do as much damage as people think it does. And like I said, it's more used to get away from PvP. For movement, I would say it's 1, but it makes up for its abilities. Abilities would be at 3. For combos, you could basically make it a starting combo. It just doesn't lead off the combo. Starts off the combo. It just basically uses to disorient your players to go in a specific way you want it. For PvP, it's 2. I wouldn't think it would go any higher than that. You could make it very useful, but overall, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal breaker. So now we add our numbers up. 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2. Divide that by 6. Barrier falls slightly above a 2-star rating. It is not bad, and it's not good. You can use it for more of a trolling style fruit, more than anything. Now we talk about if it's worth. I think my friend needs that. But for overall, do I feel like barrier is worth 1,250? I honestly think it's worth more of the 750. If anything, it should be where ice is, and think ice should be taking place over that. But that's my opinion. Nothing more to barrier. That's pretty much all it is. It's nothing too strong or out of the ordinary. It's more of a troll fruit than anything. And do I feel like barrier needs a rework? To be honest, I don't feel like barrier needs a rework. Because if you're good with it, you're good with it. If you're bad with it, you're just bad at it. If I see players using barrier in PvP and just popping off with barrier, I feel like they deserve a medal. They deserve a reward for using this fruit and actually doing some really nasty combos with it. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it here for Barrier. We're going to be doing another one here in like a matter of minutes, actually. And this one is actually going to be with another fruit that I used from the beginning of the game. We're going to be reviewing it and give you my honest opinion about it. I've used it in first sea and I used it for majority of second sea, so I do have a strong attachment to it and might be biased. But that being said, I will catch you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.